So, after weeks of raining, let me show you outside. No more rain, which is fantastic. We're gonna use the rotary today because you can see, because it hasn't been mowed for a few weeks, there's quite a bit of debris on the lawn. Kind of the blossoms have started to drop off the crabapple tree and also the quince tree as well. Just a little tidy up today and I'll bring you along. Let's get to it. That is a hell of a lot, and you can see just how much junk is in there as well. So it's picked up most of the leaves. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't leave it that long again. I want to just give you a quick update on my quince tree actually. So I've got this lovely quince tree in my front lawn here. Last year, the year before last, we had absolutely loads of quinces and we made some quince jam and stuff, which was really nice. But last year, early in the spring, we went on holiday. And when we came back, we were only gone for a week, and when we came back there was some pigeons living in this tree, and the week, because we'd been away, the garden's quite kind of private, they had a lot of space just to kind of do their thing and create a nice nest, but in doing that they completely knocked off all of the flowers, so we barely got any quinces last year, not even enough to make any jam. So this year things are looking good. We've got loads of blossom, and fingers crossed that means we've got loads of fruit, because I can see on here there's quite a lot of kind of buds, so we're fingers crossed for this year. Just give you a few updates throughout the year and show you how sort of aggressive quinces are at growing. Amazing. They go from this to huge big kind of quinces in a few months, which is awesome. So and then maybe we'll show the process as well of actually making the jam, which will be cool. What's Coco doing down here? In fact, whilst I'm here I might just show you. So I've got these pleached trees here, and actually I've got a bit of a strange one here actually, because it seems to grow. This one here, for some reason, it didn't have any foliage, and I thought the tree was dead because it's got some sort of deformation on the stump there. And and I was a bit worried that, oh no, because they're pleached and they all came together and they'd grown in together. I was a bit worried that, oh, if one's diseased and I have to replace it, it could be a bit of an issue, but it seems to have started spring leaves, so we'll watch that. The big problem I have here is that my garden is actually my front garden is south facing, which is great. It means I get sun all day, pretty much. The big problem is that because I've got a lot of these hedges, the lawn really suffers, because from around about probably early December all the way through to March, really this part of the lawn doesn't get any sunlight at all because of these two hedges, this big hedge here and these peach trees here. So it's been a bit of a challenge to try and actually get a decent kind of sward of greenery. Last year I did lay down a little bit of kind of more shade tolerant seed, and some did grow, so I mean that's a good sign. I maybe just need to do a bit of an overseed, which I plan on doing later this year anyway. We'll overseed everything because it's still not quite where it needs to be. I mean, from the first video, I'll show you a clip now, to where it is today, obviously it's 10 times better, but I just want to keep progressing. I mean, having Coco unfortunately is ruining my plans every winter, but she's my dog, so I let her off. So yeah, we'll nip around the back now. We'll give the rear a bit of a tidy up. Yeah, I've actually got quite a cool contraption actually that I built to trim them. So I've got quite a neat top and kind of bottom cut on it, and I created this kind of wooden frame. I'll do a video on that in a few weeks. It's not quite time to give them their first trim. I mean, during lockdown last year, I kind of trimmed them quite a few times because obviously we were home and there was absolutely nothing to do. So, but this year with work and stuff, I'm actually finding it quite difficult to get out here and actually have time on the garden, especially with all the weather as well. The weather's terrible. But another good thing, check out the blossom on this. And it's not even in full flow yet, so in a week or two when this really pops, it's this kind of lovely electric blue, which I absolutely love. So I'm really looking forward to it because we've got the baby as well, only 9 weeks old. So I'm really looking forward to getting some nice pictures of her with that tree, so to show her when she's older, which is nice. Right, so we're going to head through the mystical tunnel. Actually, this is where the pigeons were. The nest was really early on, but it disappeared. They just left, and there was unfortunately some dead eggs in there, which was a shame really. So yeah, we're going to go around the back. The lawn's even a little bit longer at the back. Again, it's made up of the same stuff. In fact, I'll show you. Let's go and have a little look. So the lawn out here is, in fact, you can actually still see in there. Just in there, can you see? You probably can't quite see it, but in there's a little nest with some, unfortunately, some eaten eggs. Now, as soon as we saw that, we started going around the other side of the house to get things out, so as to not disturb them, because we really didn't want to, you know, nesting birds need their space. So anyway, so this is my rear garden. Now, the rear garden is obviously north facing, so it's not quite as easy to grow seeds. So here, again, similar to the front really, for a lot of the winter months it doesn't really get much sunlight, which unfortunately means I get a lot of kind of moss and winter grasses. So we'll give this a quick mow. This only needs a quick tidy up really, I'm not too fussed. I could really do with trimming the edges, but I might leave that for the weekend. So let's get to it. So you can see how much we've got off the rear lawn. I would say a good 2.5 centimetres. It's long. In my last video, you remember I was sat here and I was talking a little bit about overseeding and where to put the seed and stuff, and you'll remember that it was really, really dry and a bit bare. So this year the winter grasses and the poa has just gone absolutely crazy. So you can see here, this was the really bare patch that we seeded here, and you can see winter grasses love kind of areas where there's no competition. So any bare patches, they'll jump in there and they'll grow. And you can see here I've got this huge kind of piece of, I think it's poa, and it's just a nightmare really. So, but I mean, on the whole, compared to where this lawn was last year, you know, I've got quite a nice even coverage. I'm really looking forward to doing an autumn overseed this year, because I didn't do one last year, I did a spring overseed. Temperatures weren't quite up to what they needed to be, so not all of the seed germinated, but I sort of just kept with it for the year. Didn't get a chance to do a kind of autumn renovation, but this year I'm definitely going to try and do one. And I'm really hoping that I can take this lawn up to the next level really. So this is Kentucky bluegrass, you can see it here, it's lovely. I really am a huge fan of Kentucky bluegrass. I love how fine it is, I love the colour it goes. It's really nice. So a mixture of Kentucky with perennial rye I love. I'm not sure what I'm going to overseed this year. The thing is, it was the first time I've really grown Kentucky. In my previous garden I did perennial rye, and it was really nice. I love the colour, it's really easy to grow, germinates really quick, but the Kentucky bluegrass does take a while to come up. But if you've got the patience and you can keep off the lawn and keep it kind of watered and things, it's brilliant. So yeah, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to overseed Kentucky or perennial rye. It depends how kind of lazy I'm feeling really, and how much kind of a success rate I want, because I think if I've got perennial ryegrass, it only takes 3 days to sort of germinate, so within a week sort of getting some results. So it kind of comes down to patience and stuff like that. So what I do like about the Kentucky bluegrass, it's true what everybody says, you know, it does fill in the bare spots. So even if it doesn't germinate in certain areas, you can really see it thickening up. And if you cut it nice and low, so I've got my mower there, my Izzy's on its lowest setting, it's probably around about 15 mil maybe, and with my real mower I go much lower. I like to keep it nice and low, and if you keep it low, you feel like you're scalping at the start, but as things start to thicken up, especially with the Kentucky, it fills in, it just gets like this really lovely sward on it. So yeah, big thumbs up for me. So that's it really for today. We've mowed the front, we've mowed the back, I've given you a little bit of a tour and a bit of a talk around some of the things that I'm planning on doing, and I'll see you for the next one.